Hey guys, Mono here, and you might be wondering why I'm showing you people getting blown the hell up in Quarantine instead of talking about REMAGEN, which is actually the new map. Well, REMAGEN has a bridge, and it turns out that bridge happens to be the same width as this part of the train tracks in Quarantine. At least, as far as I can tell, comparing one map to the other, so there's obviously going to be a difference in the actual game. It's not going to be a one-to-one representation, but my first thought when I saw that bridge was, if you start firing the arty at one of the ends of the bridge, then how the hell are teams going to get across the bridge in any moment throughout the entire match? And I'm really concerned about this, so I decided to do some scientific testing. So first of all, thank you very, very much to everyone that helped me get this footage. You guys are awesome. Thank you, GOF guys, for letting me use your server. Thank you everyone that participated, and hopefully I get to do more stuff like this in the future because this was a lot of fun. But you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. So, Haladeus, they've announced a new map. That map is REMAGEN. This map has been present in some mods for games like Battlefield 1942, which I played, like the Forgotten Hope mod. So they showed this telegram with a bunch of different screenshots of the map, as well as the tactical map, or the in-game map, if you will. And it looks awesome. Like, don't get me wrong, I really want to play this. The areas around the map, the hillside on the north side, it looks very good. It looks very reminiscent of something like Hurricane Forest. The other side of the map looks also similarly forested as an area, but there's also a bunch of buildings around, and it looks like a really cool map. I love the design. I love the way it looks on the screenshots, and I like the asymmetry where one side gets a cleaner, more direct route to the bridge, while the other side has a hill, which is going to be very useful to just lay fire upon the bridge. But as soon as I see the map, and I think anyone that's familiar with the game sees the map and immediately starts having a bunch of questions, right? And seeing a bunch of problems with the layout of this map. So let me go over that. The middle part of the map includes 3 points. One of them is the bridge. The other two possible middle points are on each of the different riverbanks. So, 30% of the time it will go to the south team, and 30% of the time it should go to the north team. So 60% of the time you should have a situation where one team doesn't really have to go across the bridge while the other one really does. And I think that creates a bunch of different problems because, as I was showing you guys at the beginning of the video, artillery happens to be pretty powerful in Haladeus. And if you non-stop barrage the other side of the bridge, like the enemy side of the bridge, I don't think there's a way to get across the bridge at all, ever, period. Because the only way to counter RD right now is using something like either a recon tank or a recon squad that can get there, put their OP somewhere hidden, and just continuously harass the artillery throughout an hour and a half of the game. And the problem with that is that you can't even do that if the recon team can't make it alive across the bridge in the first place, right? But maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe I'm making this more of a problem than I think it's going to be. So that's where the scientific testing happens, my friends. So we loaded up Quarantine and we went to this side of the map. So from the houses to the low wall on the right side, that is the width of the bridge. So I figured, might as well get a guys on a server, drop some artillery rounds non-stop, and see if anyone can make it across. So we tested this for like 20 minutes, half an hour, and in that time only one person managed to make it across, and I believe it was because at the time of an artillery explosion he got saved by a little bit of rubble geometry that was on his left side. So he made it across, he got lucky, but throughout the entirety of the testing, nobody else managed to even get close to making it to the other side. Now, again, is this representative of what REMAGEN is going to be like? I think so, but you have to take into account that the bridge also has, the bridge, and that's going to stop a few of the arty rounds. Some of the arty rounds are going to hit the top of the bridge, and they're not going to hit the actual tracks and the actual, walkable area of the bridge. However, we did test this with 2 guns firing instead of 3 to simulate, 1/3 of the shots getting stuck on the top side of the bridge. And even with 2 guns firing, you cannot make it across this area, at least in Quarantine. And that is just considering the artillery guns. In the actual map, when this gets played, you can expect people with tanks are going to be shooting at the bridge, people with MGs, people sniping, and I honestly think this is going to be a big problem for this map, because that bridge is just going to get locked down very effectively, and I don't see how it's going to work, how you make this map, this concept work in a game like Hell on Loose, unless you do something really drastic, like for example just eliminating RD altogether from the map, right? If you eliminate the RD guns, there's no artillery in this map because of reasons, then you know that it will at least mitigate the problem. We did find out that the half-track is surprisingly resilient to artillery, and you can actually drive it across. We managed to drive it across, I believe it was 2 times before the driver got hit by a shell and pretty much everyone inside the half-track died. So I'm thinking there's going to be a couple of ways that you can get across the bridge. One is going to be jumping inside of a recon tank and having the recon tank just drive squad leaders across the bridge, because unless it gets a direct hit from RD, which is super rare, it's not going to get blown up. Also the half-track, as I mentioned. And the other thing is going to be airheads. And as soon as I saw the map in the Telegram, I was actually reminded of something that Max said when I interviewed him. Max is the lead developer for Hell on Loose, by the way. I will include a link to that interview right now. But when I asked him about the possibility of airheads getting removed from the game because I think they suck, he told me, you know, maybe the airheads are going to be really helpful to be able to win in a few maps that are coming along the way, maybe for example a bridge map. So I think he was referring to REMAGEN right here. But I don't think airheads are going to be much of a solution either, because there's not a lot of areas in the map where you can drop the airhead. So if you take a look at the middle side, the 2 sectors, you can only drop the airhead in a very narrow strip of land, which is going to make it really easy to spot that airhead and see where it's landing. Like as soon as you see the parachute, you ping the airhead, and you'll know, because again, there's not a lot of places for it, you'll know where that airhead is roughly gonna land. And if you just go intercept that airhead or bombing run it or artillery it or anything that's gonna be it, right? That airhead's not gonna be very successful. So honestly, like, this map doesn't seem like a good idea for the type of game that Hell on Loose is. Now, I might be wrong, and this map might be awesome, but going by my gut feeling and also everything I know about the game, everything tells me that this map is going to have some major problems. Problems that could require solutions, like for example removing artillery completely from this map. As I said, there's no real way to counter the artillery except for maybe you drop a strafing run when you're ready to cross the bridge. You drop a bombing run on the artillery on the other side of the map instead of on the bridge. But somehow, like, that's the only counter really that there exists in the game if you can't make it physically across and shut down the RD by just camping the HQ. So I don't know, guys. Hopefully the structure of the bridge is sufficient to block enough of the artillery rounds, but also large enough to also block the tank rounds and the AT gun rounds and, you know, the MG fire and everything that's going to be raining upon that bridge, because the strategy seems to be very clear. You go to that bridge, you completely block it off using barbed wire or whatever structures you want, and then just rain artillery non-stop on the enemy side of the bridge, and, you know, good game basically. But, you know, that's only gonna work if you either get the bridge as the middle point or your riverbank as the middle point. If you have to go across the bridge, then I really don't think it's gonna be a lot of fun for the team that's gonna be tasked with doing that. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I guess we'll wait and see when this map becomes playable as part of update 12. Alright, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Do you think this map is gonna be good, or do you think it's gonna be worse than PHL? If you enjoyed the video, then please give it a like, and as always, thank you for watching, and I hope I will catch you in the next one.